Today, we need to talk about something you've probably seen everywhere, the supposed male loneliness epidemic. It's always the same thing. Men are adrift, isolated, and can't find partners, and it's framed like some kind of mysterious public health problem that just fell out of the sky. I'm here to tell you it's not a mystery. It's not an epidemic that's suddenly happening to males. It's a problem they have built for themselves brick by brick. And it's really a crisis of accountability. So we're going to break down the actual cause of this so-called epidemic, and I'll tell you right now, it's not women's fault. Let's get one thing straight. For basically the first time in human history, a huge number of women, especially in Western societies, are no longer economically dependent on males. So what this change has done is it's completely changed the old rules of dating and marriage. Think about it, because for generations, a male partner wasn't just a choice. For many women, he was a non-negotiable requirement for survival and social status. But that's now over thanks to a massive surge in women getting higher education and entering the workforce. Financial independence for women is becoming the normal thing. Between 1970 and 2021, the percentage of women in the workforce with a college degree skyrocketed from just over 11% to nearly 48%. Now women make up almost half the U.S. labor force and actually hold the majority of high-paying management and professional jobs, as we control 52%. So what does this mean for relationships? It means a male is no longer a plan, but he's just an option. A partnership is no longer something to keep you safe, because now it's an elective addition to a life that a woman has already built for herself. And when you shift from needing a partner to simply wanting one, the criteria for who you choose changes a lot. The old model where a woman just needed a provider is obsolete. The things that really matter are emotional support, shared values, intelligence, and honestly just a basic mutual respect. A male who doesn't add positive value in these areas isn't just a neutral presence, but he's literally a burden. He's just going to be a form of stress and unpaid labor that a self-sufficient woman has zero incentive to put up with. So while women have been making all this progress, a lot of males have just basically stayed put. They still think from an old patriarchal viewpoint in a world where many women have completely changed. This failure to adapt is the main issue, and it doesn't help that traditional masculinity still teaches boys that sadness and fear are weaknesses. The only emotion that's really permissible is anger, and this ruins their ability to form any kind of deep emotional intimacy with women. Vulnerability feels like a threat, so they build walls, not just with women, but with other men too. So many male friendships stay superficial and are based on activities instead of a genuine connection. In a romantic relationship, this emotional illiteracy is a disaster. When a woman needs empathy, the male defaults to problem-solving mode and completely misses the point. And women, who are no longer financially trapped, just don't want to stay in partnerships that are emotional deserts. But it gets worse, because on top of being emotionally empty, patriarchy teaches males that they are entitled to the emotional and domestic labor of women. There's this baked-in assumption that his partner will be his therapist, his household manager, and even his social secretary, all while he remains a passive beneficiary. So she's expected to carry the entire mental load, and he just gets to enjoy the benefits. This entitlement is also why concepts like the friend zone exist, as it's a belief that if a male gives a woman his time or kindness, then he is owed something in return. They treat a woman's affection as a transaction and not a choice. And this brings us to the classic nice guy. The male who complains about how he can't get women, but fails to see the difference between performing niceness to get a reward and actually being a good partner. He'll talk to a woman on a date, but not actually converse with her, showing zero genuine curiosity about who she is as a person. He's not looking for a partner, he's looking for an audience, and when he gets called out on his behavior, he'll of course get defensive instead of taking accountability. So let's be real. Women are really just rejecting the low-effort, low emotional intelligence males that our planet is plagued with. It's not like women are asking for a perfect, handsome millionaire. We just want a functioning adult who shares the mental load and actually participates in the relationship instead of just consuming it. The modern dating world is basically a massive, efficient filter. I'm talking about dating apps. Males send the vast majority of first messages, with over 80% in one study. This means women are absolutely inundated with options, which forces them to be more selective. The swipe has become like a veto and allows women to use their standards on a large scale. And what's the number one complaint we hear from males about this? Women's standards are too high. They say women only want males who are over 6 feet tall and make 6 figures. But that's obviously a complete misreading of the situation on their part. The issue isn't that the standards are impossibly high, because it's that the standards have changed. The real, non-negotiable standards are things like emotional intelligence, honesty, and good communication. Okay, so are these high standards? Nope, that's the absolute bare minimum for a healthy adult relationship. Women are swiping left on a male's personality and rejecting the selfishness and the overwhelming entitlement that comes through in his profile and his messages. Instead of engaging in self-reflection, these males just put themselves into online echo chambers. So they start consuming endless red pill content that gives them a convenient scapegoat, which is, of course, women. They love clinging to debunked theories like hypergamy, which is the idea that all women are biologically meant to chase after the top 20% of males. It perfectly plays into male victimhood to conveniently take away any responsibility for their own failures. In reality, it's a self-perpetuating trap. The misogynistic junk they learn in these spaces are the very things that get them rejected in the first place, and it just sends them deeper into the echo chamber. Like, is this even a real epidemic? And is it really just about men? Because actually, a 2025 Pew Research survey found that about the same percentage of American women and males report feeling lonely, 16% of men and 15% of women. So at a broad level, the problem has actually never been gender specific. Where we do see a spike is with young American males, okay, but the most telling statistic is this. When asked if they turn to their friends for emotional support, only 38% of males say yes. Do you get it now? Their problem is literally that they have an unwillingness to use their connections for real emotional intimacy. So let's call this what it is. The loneliness these males are experiencing is the direct and very predictable result of their own beliefs and their refusal to evolve in the way women have. They've created their own isolation, and I'm honestly wondering if we should even feel bad for them at this point. It's really an issue of accountability and not victimhood. Smart women are simply using their right to reject partnerships that don't meet a reasonable and healthy standard, because the path forward definitely doesn't involve women lowering their standards. The only thing males can do is the work of unlearning all the garbage patriarchy taught them. They need to stop being so passive and actually contribute to both the household and emotional labor, and without being asked to. If they want a woman in their life, they need to learn to process and share their emotions, and also accept feedback from women without getting defensive. Most importantly, these males need to realize they most definitely are not owed a woman's time, love, or labor. And this is the only way. They just have to start with fixing themselves and not expect a woman to do it. So this is basically my take on it. The narrative of male victimhood is not only super wrong, but it completely erases what women are really asking for. What do you think? Have you seen this play out in your own life? Just let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.